2 locations, 2 breakthroughs, and 1 revelation on Lot 8 that the team themselves are calling shocking. Welcome back. Season 13, Episode 20 of The Curse of Oak Island is titled The Sands of Time. And the official summary tells us everything we need to brace ourselves for. After finding evidence of ancient man-made workings in the swamp, the team makes a shocking revelation on Lot 8. Not a discovery, not a find, a revelation. That is the word the show itself is using. And after everything Season 13 has been building, the man-made feature under the 40,000-pound boulder, the blue-gray mortar, the medieval artifacts, the transatlantic Templar axis, the 6 Roman coins, whatever happens on Lot 8 in Episode 20, is the moment all of it converges. Today we are breaking down what we know, what the evidence has been building toward, and why the swamp discovery that triggers this revelation may be the most important thing found in that bog since the team first stepped into it. The sands of time are finally giving up what they have been holding. Let's get into it. Let's start with the swamp, because that is where Episode 20 begins, and the swamp has been one of the most consistently productive and consistently underrated sites on the entire island. The Oak Island Swamp is not a natural formation. That has been established across multiple seasons and confirmed again in Season 13 with the discovery of the cobblestone road running through the bog, a deliberate stone causeway with wooden survey stakes aligned to Nolan's Cross. The swamp was created, it was flooded deliberately, possibly to conceal what was built at its edges and beneath its surface. And in Season 13, it has been yielding evidence of construction activity that predates any documented European presence in Nova Scotia by centuries. In Episode 15, the team found a swamp discovery with explosive implications. In Episode 7, new discoveries in the swamp and money pit area led to what the show described as a potentially history-changing revelation. And in Episode 6, a find in the swamp proved to be at least 500 years old. Every time the team goes into the swamp in Season 13, something significant comes out of it. Episode 20 continues that pattern, but this time, what comes out of the swamp is not just significant on its own. It is significant because of where it points. It points to Lot 8, and when it does, the team makes a revelation that is described as shocking even by the standards of a season that has already produced a man-made feature under a 40,000-pound boulder. What could the swamp evidence be? Season 13 has been building the case that the swamp was part of the original island-wide construction program. The cobblestone road and the survey stakes suggest a pathway, a deliberate approach route organized around Nolan's Cross, and aligned with the Templar axis that researcher Charlotte Wheatley traced from 3 medieval churches in France. If the swamp contains evidence of ancient man-made workings, the phrase the official summary uses, then we are looking at submerged construction below the waterline of the bog. Foundations, stone arrangements, timber structure, engineered features that were built before the swamp was flooded and have been sitting under the water for centuries. And if those workings connect to Lot 8, if the swamp construction and the Lot 8 construction are physically linked beneath the surface of the island, then the axis is not just a geometric theory drawn on a map, it is a physical infrastructure, a built connection. 2 sites on the same line, joined by construction that has been invisible since the water came in. That is what triggers the revelation on Lot 8. The swamp does not just tell the team something interesting, it tells them something specific about what is on Lot 8. And what they find when they go back to Lot 8 with that new knowledge shocks them. Now let's talk about where Lot 8 stands coming into Episode 20. Because the excavation has been moving fast, and the evidence has been building layer by layer. In Episode 18, Breaking the Seal, the 40,000-pound boulder was raised and the man-made feature beneath it was exposed. Archaeologist Fiona Steele found deliberately stacked stonework, a flagstone floor, and blue-gray clay mixed with charcoal used as mortar to bind the stones. The same clay-charcoal composite found in the money pit, on Lot 5 and at Nolan's Cross. Dr. Ian Spooner's XRF scanner found lead concentrations 11 times the island baseline in the sediment beneath the feature, consistent with fire setting, the medieval underground construction technique used by Templar-era engineers to drive shafts and build sealed vaults. In episode 19, Axis of Medieval, the excavation continued, and new research drew another direct link between Oak Island and the Knights Templar. The three French churches aligned at 292 degrees pointing across the Atlantic to the island. The host stone, bearing the same four-cross symbol as the Talmud churches. The December triangle marked Ancina Halpern's believed 14th century Templar map, potentially matching the triangular boulder arrangement surrounding the Lot 8 feature. The mortar sent for XR laboratory testing, whose results are now pending. Episode 20 gets the lab results, Episode 20 gets the swamp breakthrough, and Episode 20 delivers a revelation on Lot 8 that pulls everything together. The title is worth sitting with for a moment, because the Sands of Time is doing more than one thing. On the surface, it refers to time, to age, to the 231 years this mystery has been buried. But Sands also refers literally to the ground, to the particulate matter that fills excavations, that fills shafts, that fills the spaces between stones when centuries of water and pressure and gravity work their way through a sealed underground chamber. When a shaft is drilled and the spoils come up, what the team is reading is the sands of time. Layers of material laid down across centuries, each one telling part of the story. The Karma 1 caisson drill reached 212 feet, the deepest in the island's history, and the solution channel in the Money Pit area has been confirming silver concentrations across multiple boreholes. Borehole F5.5, drilled just 7 feet from the highest gold readings ever recorded on the island. Borehole G4.5, targeting the solution channel between 168 and 212 feet. Borehole 19.5, targeting the deepest sections of the channel at 200 to 230 feet. The sands coming up from those depths are carrying chemical signatures that match a silver-bearing deposit. And the sands coming up from the Lot 8 excavation are carrying a mortar fingerprint that may confirm the construction date, the construction origin, and the identity of the people who built what is buried there. The sands are finally talking. And what they are saying, layer by layer, borehole by borehole, XRF reading by XRF reading, is a name, an organization. A moment in history when a fleet of ships vanished from a French port and did not stop sailing until they reached a remote island off the coast of Nova Scotia. The revelation on Lot 8 in Episode 20 is described by the show as shocking. Think about what that means in the context of a show that has already delivered the lead's back seal, the transatlantic church axis, the man-made feature, the blue mortar, the 6 Roman coins, the fire-setting chemistry, and the Templar cross at Smith's Cove. For this team, at this point in the season, shocking means something that goes further than all of that. Something that is not just more evidence pointing toward the answer. Something that is the answer, or close enough to it, that the distinction no longer matters. For Rick Lagina, this episode carries the weight of a lifetime. He read about Oak Island in a magazine as a child and has never let go of it. He has invested years, resources, physical effort, and the full force of his conviction into this island. And what Season 13 has been delivering to him, episode by episode, is not a slow accumulation of interesting finds. It is a systematic confirmation of everything he always believed was there. The swamp, the boulder, the mortar, the Axis, the Templars. One by one, the pillars of the theory are becoming the pillars of the evidence. And Episode 20 is the episode that adds one more, the one the show calls a revelation. Morty Lagina has spent 13 seasons being the brake on speculation. He has demanded numbers, lab results, and reproducible evidence before allowing himself any conclusion. The mortar is in the lab. The boreholes are charted. The soil chemistry has been documented. The church alignment has been measured to a fraction of a degree. Morty has his numbers. And what those numbers are saying in Season 13 is what they have been saying all along, that something extraordinary is buried here, that it was put here deliberately, and that the people who put it here were very good at keeping it hidden. Until now. Episode 20, The Sands of Time, airs March 31, 2026. A shocking revelation on Lot 8. Ancient man-made workings in the swamp, and 231 years of buried secrets about to give up something that the show itself does not have a quieter word for than shocking. Subscribe and hit the bell right now so you are here the moment the full episode 20 breakdown drops. And tell me in the comments, what do you think the shocking revelation on Lot 8 is? What do you think the swamp just told them? The sands of time have been falling on Oak Island for 231 years. In episode 20, they finally run out.